A new children's hospital is coming to Central Texas. The Scott and White facility will open this October in Temple. Now that's about an hour away from Austin, but much closer to folks in Williamson County. And it could ease the load over at Dell Children's Medical Center. KXAN's Katina McHenry has more on what the state-of-the-art facility has to offer.
Workers are still drilling in screws and making installations, but the construction noise is sounds of joy to Tiffany Oglesby. She's the mom of 2-year-old Cheyenne and a little boy due in 6 weeks. She's excited about having a specialized place for her children.
I think it was just more troublesome because you knew that you had to wait with your 2-year-old or your 1-year-old and then all these adults that could have something way more serious than a common cold.
Scott and White is in the middle of a $40 million transformation. They're turning the Daughters of Kings Hospital into a state-of-the-art children's hospital. They're giving families in northern Williamson County a closer place to bring their children in case of an emergency, instead of having to drive to Austin.
When children are injured, they call it the golden hour. You have 1 hour to get to the child and minister life-saving techniques to them. And getting closer facilities to neighborhoods is really good for children.
To make sure families have the best care possible with access to hundreds of specialists, Scott and White has signed on with Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, the largest in the country.
But occasionally children have complex diseases that require very specialized care. That will now be provided here at this Children's Hospital in Temple, and if necessary at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston.
Scott and White's Children's Hospital is one of a handful in the state. Dell Children's in Austin is its closest competitor with 500,000 square feet of space and 176 beds. Scott and White has 149,000 square feet of space with 64 beds.
I think this facility will be comparable, and I think with the partnership with Texas Children's Hospital, this is going to be a very robust, very, very prominent children's hospital for this part of the country. And
Scott and White Children's Hospital is scheduled to open on October 4th. In Temple, Katina McHenry, KXAN News.
And in a statement, Dell Children's Medical Center says that Temple-Waco area has experienced rapid growth in recent years, and the families there will benefit from having a children's hospital in their region. Scott and White Healthcare is opening a state-of-the-art children's hospital in Temple. That's great news for some families in northern Williamson County. That area has seen some rapid growth over the last few years. Many families would have to drive at least an hour for emergency services. The hospital is the former King's Daughters Hospital with 64 beds. Scott and White partnering with the largest children's hospital in the country, Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. The two say they plan to offer families state-of-the-art care and access to hundreds of specialists when seconds matter.
When children are injured, they call it the golden hour. You have 1 hour to get to the child and minister life-saving techniques to them. And getting closer facilities to neighborhoods is really good for children.
Scott and White's Children's Hospital scheduled to open October 4th of this year. Scott and White Healthcare is opening a new children's hospital in Temple. That's great news for some families in northern Williamson County. That area has seen rapid growth over the last few years. Many families would have to drive at least an hour for emergency services with their kids. The hospital is the former King's Daughters Hospital with 64 beds. Scott and White will partner with Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, the largest children's hospital in the country. The two say they plan to offer families state-of-the-art pediatric care and access to hundreds of specialists when seconds matter.
When children are injured, they call it the golden hour. You have 1 hour to get to the child and minister life-saving techniques to them. And getting closer facilities to neighborhoods is really good for children.
Scott and White's Children's Hospital scheduled to open in October.
Texas Children's Hospital in Houston is expanding its footprint as part of a new partnership with Scott and White Healthcare. Scott and White is currently building a standalone children's hospital in Temple at the site of King's Daughters Hospital. Texas Children's Hospital in Houston is expanding its footprint as part of a new partnership with Scott and White Healthcare. Juanes Chiasajo tells us what this means for children's health care in Central Texas.
Amid the construction work going on inside Scott and White's Children's Hospital,
today we're going to announce a wonderful collaboration.
An agreement was cemented on Tuesday
between the Children's Hospital at Scott and White and Texas Children's Hospital.
With the announcement of a new partnership.
It wasn't about who got what or where what went or who went where. It was all about what's right for children.
We have a commitment to work together over the next 20 years to truly make this institution one of the top children's hospitals in the United States.
Coming together inside what's said to be the only standalone children's hospital between Dallas and Austin.
Your community's children, as Dr. Pryor said, and their families, they no longer will have to travel great distances to get to the doorstep of a great children's hospital. It's going to be right here in Temple, Texas.
Bringing along with it opportunities for medical research and access to more specialized pediatric services, which is all comforting for parents like Sergeant First Class Glenn, whose 12-year-old son was diagnosed with leukemia nearly 2 years ago.
He was being treated sometimes 5 days at a time in the hospital, and me and my wife, we were sharing the experience of sitting at the hospital with him.
Knowing help is available in their backyard.
So it gave me a lot of peace of mind because I knew that if I had to leave, my family would be taken care of.
Peace of mind that comes along with knowing that the youngest of patients can get the greatest of care. Reporting in Temple, Chia Saito, YNN.
Scott and White Children's Hospital is being built at the site of King's Daughters Hospital. The doors are expected to open by October. The new hospital will add 64 inpatient beds along with pediatric surgery and emergency departments.
Families in Central Texas will soon have a new option for children's health care. Children's Hospital at Scott and White in Temple is expected to open in October, and it'll take over the existing King's Daughters Hospital, which is currently undergoing nearly $40 million worth of renovations. Parents in North Williamson County say the new hospital will be convenient. For many, it's a shorter drive than traveling to Dell Children's Medical Center in Austin.
A lot of people work in this area, go to school in this area, and don't always want to go to Round Rock or Austin, and that'd be a different solution for them or a different option.
Dell Children's Medical Center in Austin says having 2 kids' hospitals in the region will improve the quality of life and health in children.
People in Williamson County will soon have a new option when it comes to medical care for their children. Construction is now underway on a new children's hospital. Scott and White is opening the new facility near its main campus in Temple. KITV's Chris Coffey joins us live from the newsroom. And Chris, this new hospital will be a shorter drive for some people.
Well, Ron, 2 state-of-the-art children's health care facilities in Central Texas can be a big plus for lots of families, but the newest addition will be an attractive drive to many folks in North Williamson County. The existing King's Daughters Hospital in Temple is undergoing nearly $40 million worth of renovations, and it will soon become the Children's Hospital at Scott and White. The facility will have 48 private patient rooms, as well as advanced surgical suites. It will be the only freestanding children's hospital between Austin and Dallas.
Ethan, roll in.
Families in North Williamson County say it will be more convenient than having to travel to Austin.
Having 2 little children, it's nice to know that there's something close by that we can go to.
Parents in Gerald, for example, can be at the new hospital in about 25 minutes.
A lot of people work in this area, go to school in this area, and don't always want to go to Round Rock or Austin, and that'd be a different solution for them or a different option.
Dell Children's Medical Center in Austin says its mission will not be altered by the new Temple facility, and says having another children's hospital in the region will improve the quality of life and health in area children.
We've never had to use Dell, but that was kind of our only option around here until now, so it's good news.
The Children's Hospital at Scott and White is on schedule to be completed by October 11th of this year. And Children's Hospital at Scott and White is partnering with Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, sending families to Houston for specialty treatments with follow-up care available in Temple. Reporting live in the newsroom, Chris Coffey, now back to you.
Thank you, Chris. And Dell Children's in Austin says it's taken great care to recruit leading healthcare professionals and acquire the latest technology.